Hello there. Today we're going to be taking a look at Studio Series Dark of the Moon Deluxe Class Hatchet. Now that the honeymoon phase is over for this figure, I wanted to properly review it as an actual figure rather than just, oh hey, we finally got this character. Starting off here, we have the four-legged bot himself. His limbs are fairly detailed. Got some nice detail work there. The hands are decently nice. The legs are there. They've been remolded. This figure in general, it's a remold of the Berserker mold again. Somehow they refused to make a new mold for any of the dreads, and I get it. They all turn into the same car. But man, did this guy need a new mold. I'm really struggling to actually say anything positive here other than just, hey, some of the detail work is nice. I mean, the feet are okay in terms of sculpt. Yeah, otherwise I'm gonna have to be honest here. As okay of a sculpt as the head is, I mean, it's got the basic paint and, I mean, the eyes and the jaw, and hey, he has the dreads on the sides. That's okay, that's cool. Oh, and paint deco wise, you've got some nice silvers, some blacks, some red on the head, little bits of black down here on the hands, and that's about it for the bot mode. There's not really much in robot mode, unfortunately. All of it is pretty much for the vehicle mode, which is probably the mode you want to keep him in. Now, I'm just going to rip the band-aid off on this thing. There's a multitude of problems with this thing that are just, I mean, that for one. This tail, this is technically an accessory, but this is meant to be his tail, which plugs in back here. The thing barely stays on. That tail is holding on by hopes and dreams. There's barely anything holding it in. Now, the head here, for one, is just too short. The torso in general is like fairly long. He has basically no neck here. He was bulky in the movie, but he still had a neck. The shoulders, way too tight. They're not supposed to be this far in. They're almost the same exact width as the legs, which you can thank the Berserker mold for. Now, I get that this was a partial mold, but again, you really shouldn't have reserved this guy as a partial and instead actually saved him to be a new mold. Or you should have done what you did with, for example, the Rise of the Beast Optimus, or the new VW Beetle version of Bumblebee from the Bumblebee movie, where they're actually drastically different, basically new molds, just with a slightly more limited part count. This is just straight up like, it's almost a new mold, yet it just uses the exact same transformation. They didn't try to reinvent anything, and it really doesn't work with this guy. Those shoulders are stupidly tight, and thanks to the angled ball joints, you have to finagle them in really weird ways to get outwards. The arms are okay in terms of bulk down here, but really his arms up here should have been thicker and, again, more spread out. He has no tilt on the hands, so there's just awkward trying to stand him because his hands are never actually flat on the ground. His hind legs are absurdly long because, again, they reused the Berserker mold, so you've got the legs that have to be this long for the sake of the transformation. Basically, like, a third of the leg shouldn't exist lengthwise. And then you have all this kibble. Instead of just all these backpacks, they really need to just spread it out. I mean, heck, you could probably put this on the bottom underside of the chest. Considering this guy usually walks on all fours, you wouldn't exactly see much here. Which, I mean, hey, there's some nice sculpt work under here. It's thin, so he looks more like an anorexic dog, but, I mean, it's well sculpted. His backpack, unfortunately, reveals a giant chasm for the sake of transformation, and again, this stupid thing keeps falling off. Gosh, this thing is just not fun to mess with at all. Constantly struggles to even stand because none of the feet can actually line up. Accessory-wise, getting this tail back, they, for some reason, give it a handle, and in his claws, right here is a C-clip, essentially, and you can just basically slap this into his hand, and he can, I guess, just walk around with his tail like a knife. I don't know. It's just weird and pointless, and really should not be a feature. These also very much annoy me. They constantly fall off. They're just held on by two friction tabs, which do nothing to hold them on. They constantly fall off, both for transformation and the actual just like posing of him. They're very obnoxious. There's a lot of problems with this guy. Articulation wise, his head is just on a swivel joint. no up or down or side to side like you would want. Usually beast formers have an excuse of the transformation, but there's absolutely nothing blocking this. It's just decided to make it just a swivel. His jaw does articulate, although the jaw is super flat and he looks more like a fish than he does the dog. The dreads here are on hinge joints. The shoulders are on ball joints, although they're at an angle, so they're very annoying to maneuver. The bicep, you have a swivel joint, and you have a over 90-degree elbow bend, which would be great if he actually had some head articulation, because then you could have gotten some nice crouching poses. And then his feet are on hinges due to the transformation, and they can't go past this because they'll just knock off the panel, which, I mean, hey, honestly, this is probably better. Now, of course, there's no waist joint in here, because why would there be? The rear legs are on ball joints, so they're fairly unrestricted here, which, I mean, is a positive. There is no thigh swivel, but the knee is on a ball joint, which will act as a thigh swivel. And you have, of course, the knee bend itself, which from straight to 90 degrees. And then you will have this section of the leg, which goes back that far and goes this way over 90 degrees. And no ankles once again on this, which causes the issue of trying to get him on all fours, because you have to get every single leg perfect or stuck on one of these tiny little points. And for size comparisons, here he is with a much better Deluxe Dino. Now, transformation wise, leave the dreads tucked together. Gonna want to fold these up, rotate the arms around, and you'll kind of just want to leave them like that. Take the legs, straighten them out fully, and then you'll want to rotate them at the knees, and these panels will flip downwards and just peg in right there. Take the backpack, unfurl it, nice lovely shell forming. Just take these, maneuver them around, and you'll want to unfold those panels there. Now you can bring in the tail, and it will tab into the dreads with these two little tabs on the sides here. It can be a little annoying. Now the weapon will hold somewhat, and you pretty much just bring the feet back, and then you just take this whole shell, bring it on down here. Now just peg these in, that into the panel. Take this, fold this down, and then just fold this down, and there you go. You have him in his alt mode. And here he is in his suburban mode. Now, for all the faults I found in this figure, at the very least, he has a very nice alt mode. You can see it is a licensed Chevy product, of course. And I mean, hey, it's a Suburban. It's pretty accurate. It's got all the nice door detailing. All the windows are fully painted blue. It's got the nice windshield wipers. Got the light bars up top. His lights are just a bright white paint. Unfortunately, this little bit is breaking up the black with this gray. I don't know why that ended up on the sprue for the gray plastic, but oh well. All the wheels are pinned. That's nice. I mean, it allows it to roll pretty smoothly. So, I mean, hey, that's a positive, I guess. You've got the tail lights picked out in red. That's nice as well. He does have a giant gap in his alt mode. Very unfortunate. The weapon storage is pretty okay, although it's technically not a weapon, so it's parts forming his tail. Unfortunately, has this giant thing which sticks out and basically looks like he's getting ready to plow the fields. He also retains the tabs from weapons that don't exist. I mean, hey, the Suburban's pretty good. I dig it. For comparison, you've got a much better Dread toy with Dark of the Moon crankcase. Now, between these two, I prefer this guy, just mostly because all the lights and like headlights and whatnot just being picked out in actual clear plastic, as well as just having a more lifted up car is very nice. Fortunately, Chevy logo is not picked out. Oh no. What a shame. But I do feel like this just has like a sharper, more realistic sculpt to it. That doesn't feel as flat. Which is interesting to say because they're both based on the same car, maybe different year, but I don't know. This just feels more real than this. Now, in conclusion, do I recommend this figure? No. Do not get this. I regret buying this, frankly. I was buying this out of curiosity and because Hatchet never had a toy. This is the first proper Hatchet figure they've made outside of a Legends figure, and frankly, this was a waste I really wish this guy had an actual toy that looked like Hatchet, because this basically isn't Hatchet. Do not get this. Stupid panels on the side of the car constantly fall off. Trying to stand him on all fours, very annoying, because despite having 4 legs, he doesn't have a single ankle joint, and he's constantly wobbling. He's got kibble everywhere, and he looks completely wrong. Outside of just having dreads and standing on all fours, he barely looks like Hatchet at all. I would argue that just putting this guy on all fours would be a better choice than buying this thing. Do not get this. This is a waste of money. I frankly do not understand how people just gave this thing a pass. I get it, because it's like, oh, hey, Hatchet, we finally got him. I don't care about that. I do not care how much of a draw it is to complete a cast, or I will not support a bad figure just because it completes a cast. This thing's pretty bad. Granted, it doesn't commit the crime of being boring, which I think is by far the worst thing a Transformer could do. If there was any figure I wanted to redone in Studio Series, it would be this guy, because this is just bad. Anyways, thank you for watching. If you want to leave your own opinions on this, please feel free to comment below. Please feel free to subscribe, leave a like, whatever you want. If you agree or disagree with me, feel free to tell me why. Please feel free to follow me on Instagram, where I take pictures of figures, either before I review them or just for the fun of it. Thank you for watching, and have a good day.